Hey, this is Cameron, and welcome to the practice log. Whoa. I am drunk as we speak. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna make this a thing, because this isn't like the sobriety channel or anything, but this is the second day of me quitting alcohol. So I'm just gonna go over like a few feelings I have. I don't really feel anything. I feel ready to take on the day. I feel pretty good. I feel like this is a pretty normal thing that I've experienced though, where it's like, I took a day off. That's fine. But yeah, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, watch my last video where I explained how alcohol isn't cool anymore. Because it's not cool anymore. It used to be cool. It's not anymore. Anywho, let's move on from that. So, the sore Mozart variations. I know that you guys are tired of hearing that one, but I want to just show something about it today. I've been really thinking a lot about the melody of each section, because that's what music is. Like, you're trying to convey the melody in a way that makes sense, and that's your job as the performer. And oftentimes in these melodies, we have these little repeated sections that sort of move around the scale, and it's cool to display those really clearly. It makes the line really clear for whoever's listening to it. I'm gonna get into that. I'm gonna practice first. I think that's mainly what I'm gonna like talk about. First, let's answer a comment question, shall we? This is actually an interesting one right here. So this was from my You're Probably Not an Advanced Guitarist video with Marty Schwartz. And I was probably talking about shapes on the guitar at some point. I make fun of it with guitarists specifically, but that's not unique to guitar. I know that all instruments have like patterns and shapes that they memorize, just because we are like pattern and shape creatures. We're good at recognizing that stuff and memorizing it. So, you know, I make jokes about it, but like I use patterns all the time too. They're just that. It's jokes. This is a comedy show. But you said, is a formula not a shape? I guess I said like something about maybe scale formulas. I think the most useful shapes on the guitar are ones that are the fundamentals to build bigger, larger shapes. For example, understanding that the major scale, which we can dedicate some brain processing to just learning the arbitrary scale formula of whole, whole, half, whole, whole, half, because it's so ingrained in all the music that we play. Eventually, if you're going to become really fluent on the guitar, you should get comfortable with every possible combination of interval on the fretboard, which is like learning all shapes, I guess. But starting with the major scale, I think is a pretty useful one. And then other useful fundamental shapes to know. A whole step is the shape on the guitar. And no matter where you play it, it's a whole step. And then it's also useful to know that your pinky going to the next string in the same position with your index is the same interval. It's also a whole step. And then knowing that a half step is just half of that, one fret. These are useful shapes because we can use them to build other more complex shapes, like every diatonic interval in the major scale, for example. I just changed my nail shape, so I feel like I kind of suck right now. Excuses, I know. I'll tell you how I changed them. This is something that Brandon got me onto. He uses ramp nails, and right now, I don't know if you can see that, I have sort of a ramp going on, which basically, like, where my finger contacts the string, that's more flesh, and then the nail goes out like that as a ramp, which will push the string down as I play. It's still a little awkward. Like, if I'm just isolating it with one note, it sounds really good, I think. But, you know, oof. But I'm still uncomfortable with it. And I guess maybe the only example of not useful shapes that I could think of right now are like understanding that guitar is a transposing instrument. I've seen these big fat chord books that just have every single chord go through every single root. All right, here it is with A flat and then A, and then you have to like go find it in A. Like, and you go from like A to C and it's all just the same stuff, just the fret number changes. Memorizing shapes like that is stupid. Just memorize the A flat stuff and then just transpose it everywhere. The main thing to understand is that oftentimes when I talk about shapes, I'm joking around. The fretboard geometry is just a part of guitar. We can pretend like it's not. Like, I've had jazz teachers that pretend like it's not. Like, they don't just have some form of muscle memory that allows them to play like these arpeggios and stuff. Yeah, I know that you're seeing the individual notes and you know how to spell D major 7 arpeggio really easily, but you definitely are playing a familiar pattern on the guitar, and you're thinking about that. And that's the easiest thing to go to, because it's just a pattern. A pattern is like thoughtless. You don't have to build a thing to just recognize a pattern. It's like immediate. So, you know, again, we can pretend like shapes aren't a thing. They certainly are, though. And that's all I have to say about that. This one is from Mez. This might be sacrilege, but do you currently own an electric? Legit curious to see how you'd approach playing one. I think I own an electric guitar. It's in my closet right now. But what's even more sacrilege is I own a steel string guitar. I feel like that's pretty crazy. Personally, I think at this point in my life, I find steel string guitars a little more interesting than electric guitars. I don't know, there's just something about the acoustic aspect that's really pleasing to me, where all the sound production is just from your instrument and you can control it from that. That's what I really appreciate about classical guitars. And electric guitars, I feel like the only kind of music you can play on them is like nerd music. It's cool. Like, I like nerd music. Classical is nerd music too, by the way, but I find it very fulfilling to play that kind of music. But steel strings are interesting because you can just do some like singer-songwriter, just saying your truth with your guitar. There's something kind of appealing about that. If I were to start playing electric guitar again, I would probably take my own advice and like start just transcribing solos or something, like jazz solos in particular. Because I don't know, what else is there even to do on electric guitar? I guess play metalcore. I feel like you don't have to practice that though. Like I feel like if you just practice jazz, you'll kind of automatically just be able to play metalcore, right? That's probably how I would approach it. I don't know if there will ever be a time where I just play electric guitar. I certainly did when I was younger. I don't know, I just feel like those days are behind me now. There's a lot to do with classical, especially up until my 30s, because I'm going to be in a master's program for classical. I'm probably not even going to bring an electric guitar to school. I'm just going to have my 2 luthier classical guitars and 1 really crappy Yamaha steel string guitar, and that's pretty much it. Alright, well I think that pretty much covers question time with Cameron. So I'm going to work on a bunch of stuff. I think I have something to show you with the Soar Mozart variation. Stay tuned for that. I'll see you on the other side. Hey, whoa, this hasn't been the longest one. I know. But I have to go run an errand really quick. So, I'm going to play something for you, and then we're going to wrap this one up. I put a lot of work into Lob de Trennen, the Schubert, and I think I have like one more day with it until I've read through the whole thing, and just a few more days after that, it'll be pretty solid. I think I'll have it pretty much ready to go for the next lesson, which is in about a week from now. I want to play the Soar Mozart variations for you, but not the whole thing. I just want to show you these little things that I've been seeing. These repeating ideas. And this is the stuff that I feel like I haven't really been listening for as much. Like, this is the difference between playing the notes and actually making the phrases make sense and kind of build off of each other. So this is the slow movement. So it's all just... And then the next one. Same idea, it's higher now. Same thing there. So I'm going to play that entire thing for you. And if I've done it well enough, you will very clearly hear it every time. So, check this out. See, I'm kind of losing it there. Try that again. There we go. So we got it the last time. I feel like I was able to convey that somewhat. And that kind of idea applies throughout the entire thing. Like, you hear these little repeating ideas always show up. I mean, like... That's phrase. And so on. It just shows up everywhere. Just learning some new stuff about the Soar Mozart variations. Next time I'll play the Schubert for you. Probably not in its entirety, but I'll be able to get through a lot of it. Yeah, and that one will be coming along pretty soon. Alright, let's go ahead and wrap this one up here. So, of course, if you made it this far, be sure to subscribe and leave a like, all that stuff. Hey, want some guitar lessons? I teach guitar lessons. I'm fully booked right now, but feel free to send me an email and state your case, talk about what you want in lessons, and if it seems like a good fit, then I will let you know. I know that I did 2 non-reaction videos in a row, so expect some of those coming soon. Those are the real money makers. I have to do those. Alright. I'll see you in the next one.